Hi there. I'm going to make a series of videos on how to use ROUTEMASTer. I'm going to kind of like make them in a very scattered way. I'm going to follow, of course, let's say the view that you see here. I'm going to try to follow like things one by one, but maybe at some point I will jump one, or maybe I will go back to another, or it'll depend. It will be a little bit like to give you like a taste of how you can use this tool. If you need more specific assistance or with some function, or how to achieve something, then you can contact me, and I will be able to help you out with those things. So that being said, so let's start with this view. So I will go one by one to different elements, and I will just explain them, okay? So let's start with the uppermost part of the view, which is the menu, the main menu. And we have all these options here. So the view are related to options to uh, to edit and modify, or just related to this view. That means this square here. So I can just modify it. I can just show things that I need to show, or I can change the page setup. I can scale it, and so on. I can also print it for other reasons, so if it's needed. Alright, so the second one is the create view. So as you see, there are some elements here, right? So I'm clicking on those elements, and those elements are responding somehow. Uh, so I can create elements, let's say. So that's why we have this create view. So I don't know if you saw it, but I just double click on this element that is named the sandbox. So I have this for the sandbox for kind of like just testing and doing different things, like showing this tutorial, for example. So in this sandbox, I have different elements, different than the ones that I had before here in the top level. So okay, so let's see, create. So I can create icons, rack devices, and connections, right? Okay, so I would jump immediately to the left here, and I will open this menu, which is related. This part here, model, is related to this create. So I can see different models here, icons, racks, devices, and links. So I can create those things here in the view. Alright, so let's start with a simple one. Let's start with just a simple computer. As you can see, I've done many of these tutorials. So I have some computers here. So I created the computer, and it's a white PC, and I entered in it. Let's say I just drill down to that view to see what is inside. So then I see that in this view the view is empty. I can create all the different elements in this view, so they can just coexist inside the previous view, the white PC. So I can create elements here, for example, a server, and I can also create different elements. They are not like the element that I showed you before, that, for example, a rack. And in this rack, if I drill down, then it's going to be useful for showing you the third element or model, which is the devices. Devices are just servers, patch panels, switches, and all that. So it could also be an air conditioner, an outlet. Not all the Some of the devices can be racked, as I did here, but not all the devices can be racked. For example, this outlet here, it doesn't make sense to rack it here. So I can create it in a different part. I can just create it here, for example, and it exists there. And if I double click, I see something specific about the devices is that they have these elements here. which are the ports. So it's a port representation that is represented by these squares. So that's specific for this rack. Okay, so I go back and I'm having here all these elements. So I know that I'm having icons. Icons are just simple elements that are empty inside. I have the racks, which they have containers inside, so we can install things in them, like servers and routers and things like that. As I showed you here before, they are installed. We have devices, so we have devices that can be racked inside. They can be installed inside the rack, but I also have devices that doesn't have to necessarily be rack. It's just devices that exist, for example, like an outlet, an air conditioner, and so on. So let's check the fourth key model, which are the links. So there are many ways to create links between elements. In this case, I'm going to create links between these two devices. Just one way to do it is selecting one of the devices, and let's first see what ports it has here. So it has these ports here, this RJ45, and I see that it's number 2, number 1, management, and this IO. Okay, let's just play with these ports. This is a server, and I have here this patch panel that is having all these ports as well. So let's go back. So if I copy, let's say like control copy or command copy this device, the server, then if I want to create a connection from this server to this patch panel, I need to select patch panel and click connect. So we have these two options. We have the port connection and the object connection. So the port connection is just connecting the ports one by one, as I showed you before. And the object connection is just connecting the server, this let's say this view to this view. So let's choose the first one, port connection. So it will open a view in which I will see the devices or the ports of each device. So in this case, in the left, we see the server. So we see the ports that I showed you before, like IO, if you remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, management, and PS1, PS2. And on the right, the end selection, we will see the port of the patch panel. So I remember there was number 1 and number 2, they were RJ45. So I will just make this connection. So the connections are 1 to 1. So if I choose 2 ports on the left, I had to choose 2 ports on the right. Later or subsequently, we need to choose the link type. So in this case, I'm going to choose this RJ45. So this sequential connect is a connection type, or cross connect. So we want to connect one by one. We don't want to connect all to all in different ways. This is a different connection, cross connection. So let's just use this sequential connect. We connect, and the link was created. I'm going to close this view. I already used it, and I'm going to see what happened here. So I see that there is a new element that showed here, which is a link, or in this case actually 2 links. When I select them, then I can see here in the lower part here, when I'm clicking, there are 2 selected lines. Okay. By the way, we also have some information here about the elements that are being laid. So we have a rack, we have 2 devices, and 2 links. So that's what we created so far. Okay, so all right, so let's see. We show you this create. We are here creating, and as I told you before, I will jump a little bit here and there. So the create, let me jump to this menu here where you can see the models, and then I just let you see the models, and I create some of them for you to see. Okay, now I am going to open this right menu that we have here, and I'm going to use one of the tools. So view link. I'm going to use this tool, view link, and I'm selecting the device. So the device in this case is the patch panel. So if I select the device, I will see that there is a link. There are links connected to these two devices, so I can see this in this way. So I can also go back, for example, if I need to see something else. For example, I need to come and check this server. Okay, but then once I click on another element, then it's going to just show whatever element is there. So you need to keep in mind that. So if I click on this element, maybe I will go back to check something else, and I will be still able to see this connection until I click something else. If I want to go back to the element, I can just double click on the element in this view, and then it will take me to the specific element that I wanted to see. Another thing is that I can also go and jump to different elements that is showing me here. For example, here there is a port. So if I double click, it'll take me to the port that I need to go, which that I want to go, which is this one, port number 1 or port number 2. Likewise, if I select this port number 2, it's going to show me the second connection. So this is the link that is from port 2 to the port 2 of the server. Let's go and see the server, and it's showing me this port as well. Alright, so I think we cover a few key points of the view and create elements into the view. So I'll leave it to this. For the moment, and I'll be making more videos for you to explore some other elements or some other functions of the software. So see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.